thank you, Mina. Thank you very much. So, is question and answer time. While I'm uploading my slide, so let me read through a couple of questions that we already got. Okay, the first is, will slides be shared? And the answer is yes. We are going to upload the slides on our website after the event, and you will find into the chat the address. One second, let me. The second, okay, the second question that is an observation, and it's very interesting, is by Yves. He says it raises the webinar raises interesting questions about competencies and organization, leadership and management. So I don't know if anybody from the staff team want to comment this observation.
I may do that.
Yes, thanks, Enrica.
This is one of the key remarks that have been raised during the change management path definition within the project. So for sure, a strong engagement of the leadership and a lot of attention in now the project is present, the technology introduction is presented to the end users, but not only to them, also to all the stakeholders that have to be involved in this exercise. So consider human resources, due also to the impact on the skills and competence development, but also unions, also the population that is not directly involved in the exercise is crucial. So has been identified as crucial. So we completed a detailed analysis on that. So I think that these are really critical elements that have to be addressed. We are developing a program with specific also communication content and the communication packages that will be used and tested. And at the end of the project, we will be able to provide a feedback on the effectiveness and the final impact of these type of actions in a company, in our exercise, but also in the other use case exercise that we see in the next webinars. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, no, I think it was not a real question. It was I mean a point of reflection. So I think yes.
Absolutely confirmed.
Yeah. So you confirm, which is something. Okay. Any other questions from your side, from the participants? So let's wait. Let's wait a little bit. Okay, I received off the chat a questions maybe for Alexandros. What are the challenges of exposing analytics results through voice-enabled assistants? Alexandros, I don't know if you want to answer this.
Yes, sure. Actually, as I presented earlier, there are two different types of outcomes from the prescriptive quality analytics component. So, on the one hand, this is something that is well known and more or less well established, how to expose visualization, graphs, diagrams, etc., in order to support the user to get access to all these insights that are provided by the analytics. So there is, I would say, a large freedom of how to present information, but exactly there are several challenges when dealing with providing these outputs through a digital intelligence assistant. So in the context of a dialogue by a voice-enabled assistant. For example, one challenge is how to filter out these results in a way that the most useful, I would say, output is communicated to the user. A second challenge is how these results are not standalone, but they are in the context of a specific dialogue in which the user interacts. So it needs to make sense to the user and to support him in his work. And of course, there are some other challenges, more technical ones, about how to move from an algorithmic and numerical output or result through and pushing this result to a text-to-speech and vice versa speech-to-text mechanism in order to, let's say, integrate all these technologies together.
Okay, thanks, Alexandros. So I got another. Meanwhile, I got another question from Andre. So the question is, where is the digital assistant installed? Is embedded on premise or other kind of installation? Maybe Stefan.
Yeah, yeah, I will answer that. So right now, the assistant runs on a server, or actually we have two versions, a demo version and like a live version on a server. So it would be cloud infrastructure, I would say, but not on Google Cloud or something like that. That's something that we are still looking at. And what we are also looking at is to run things on premise to some extent. The thing is that we are using Mycroft and Rasa, so kind of two assistants that talk to each other. Mycroft can run on premise completely, so you can have a small edge device even to contain a whole Mycroft assistant, but Rasa is more tricky. You can deploy it on a small device too, but then you need to assume that you have all the training data and everything that you want already there, so you cannot use more complex tools that Rasa provides, such as Rasa X, which then would bloat up this on-premise solution somewhat. So the answer is it's in cloud, I would say, but not Google Cloud. It's like a server that we host in the project, or two servers that we host in the project, to be more precise.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefan. That was very clear. I have another offline question that I got, and this about noise. What about noise and the interaction with the digital assistant into noisy environments?
Yeah, I can also answer that. So this is a question that we get very often, and it's a very plausible one, given that noise is in almost all factories. So the idea is, and that might sound a bit weird, but the idea is that someone else solves this problem. So we are not dealing with this kind of problem. We are buying industry-grade headphones, for instance, that are certified to be used in noisy environments, for once because they are providing protection. So you have these big ear shells, for instance, and then there's a microphone that we use that you can attach to that protection device, and that microphone filters noise. So we tried it already. It works up to a certain point. When you are standing next to a machine that is super loud, like so loud that you need to wear ear protection, then it gets a bit more difficult to get correct transcriptions, or to even get transcriptions from the speech-to-text mechanism. So noise can be managed by buying the right hardware, I would say. The downside is a bit that you need to wear these microphones then, but on the other hand, when you need to wear ear protection anyways in a production, then the small microphone that you attach to it is not such a burden. It's more a question, what do you do when there's a middle ground, when it's noisy, but it's not so noisy that you need to wear a protection for yourself? And how can we handle these situations? And then you can use also kind of microphones that do not provide protection to you. They just hold the microphone, and you can then have a microphone that filters out the noise. So this is the technique that we are using, and we will also use when necessary in the production facilities where we test. So there's one in particular where the textiles are produced, and that's really, really loud. So it's interesting to see, and it's something that we are evaluating also.
Thanks, Stefan. So was very clear. Okay, now it's the final minutes of the webinar. So let me share again my screen with you with the final slide and the contacts that you can refer to. Okay. Let me also activate the camera. Okay. Hope you see my screen. Okay, the final message is, well, first, thanks to all participants for staying with us all the time. So we appreciate it a lot. COALA is willing to provide contributions with the communication plan, and this webinar is the first of a series and is part of the communication plan. But COALA is willing to provide contributions also to the AI community, to a broader AI community, not only with communication, that is a part, of course, of the plan, but also with assets. So we are going to make available for you some exploitable assets, some data sets, some training modules for the workers, so that you can benefit from how the COALA project progress. As we said, we have other stuff ongoing, not only the webinar, but also a podcast series, newsletters, and other upcoming events, the COALA website, and you are going to also be invited to the survey for us to understand if you appreciate this kind of communication or you want to provide us suggestion on how to improve this. So having said that, in the slide, in this final slide, you'll find all our contacts and all our references. There is also the QR code, and let me close by also reminding you the digital assistant task force that Stefan spoke about in his presentation. So, having said that, I think we are all done. I want to thank the speakers and the participants for being with us, and have a nice day. Thank you very much.